best breakfast show in all of the land, and yes, we do say so ourselves. Am I right, 6-2? And
no,
also
actually, we are not just saying it. I mean, we have indicators to that effect that it is not just we who are saying it.
Absolutely.
Anymore. Maybe at a point we will.
We'll commission Global Info to tell us more. Don't worry.
But that's also a good time to say thank you to all the people who started off with us.
That's right.
Reloaded 2 years ago. We thank them.
Yes.
Some have remained faithful.
So it means you have to thank Helen.
Oh, no. Helen is a solid.
Founding father.
Helen. Helen has fought with us, stood with us, fallen with us.
It feels very good to still be standing.
That is true.
August this year will be 5 years. Officially, August 1, 2025 will be 5 years officially.
You also joined in August.
No. I started morning radio in August 2025, and from where we've traveled to today, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Even
woman, man.
Girl. Even when people are saying, why do you let a woman have the microphone? We have the microphone because we have the women. We say that.
They should come and take it.
They should come. I'm here. I'm sitting here. Come for it. I'm here. But we've got Galamsey on our mind this morning. It's tabled for discussion. Now, something that is also making the waves because we're seeing a bit of a shift in the position of government is LI 2462. It's been the center of controversy to be repealed or not to be repealed. When does Parliament reconvene? I must find out because they've got a lot of issues to tackle. I cannot wait. So does Parliament before they even open the doors, I'll be there because I cannot wait to see members of Parliament in action.
Astus has to start working to get you a special accreditation.
Oh, la. I would love that. Astus, good morning.
The CEO of Gold Board, Sami Jenfi, he says the LI it will be repealed when Parliament resumes. So when Parliament
not amended?
No, not amended. So he was emphatic that it will be removed from our books. It will be repealed when Parliament resumes.
That's right.
How far that travels, because it's something to keep an eye on, and then we'll get to know what will happen. But talking about Galamsey, there's a protest today.
That's right.
You know all the details. Because Helen is also protesting.
Oh, listen, I am not shy to admit that I like a demonstration or two. It's not a civic duty I shy away from at all. There are so many different tools that we can use in a democracy as a people to let our voices be heard, to highlight certain issues. For some people, they see demonstrations as a very negative thing, that you're trying to make someone unpopular and that can't always be the case. They do serve a purpose in our democracy. Now, I mentioned LI 2462 because it's one bone of contention that the likes of Awula Sewa have raised, that don't just repeal certain portions or remove or amend certain portions of that LI, completely scrap it. Whether or not this new posturing will soften the minds and hearts of those who are determined to hit the streets is something that is yet to be determined. But gentlemen, is it too early for the citizenry to hit the streets and talk about Galamsey, lament about the ills of Galamsey?
Not at all. Even for a new administration that is barely 3 months, 4 months old, it is not new. I mean, they knew the situation and they campaigned based on some of the concerns we have. They had a position. If you listen to the now Land and Natural Resources Minister when he was in opposition, he was emphatic that declare the state of emergency. This LI we're talking about, it was mentioned that it will be repealed. Now they are in office, and for Galamsey or for illegal mining activities, there seem to be some, slow footing. Some they don't want to put their foot on the gas. That is what it seems. So, if this protest is happening,
sorry, because you said
is pussyfooting the word you are looking for?
No, I said slow footing.
Slow.
Okay.
So sorry, Cosby, to get you said from the part of government.
Yes.
Okay, you say it looks like there's some slow footing, pussyfooting. How do you assess that?
They want to do it, but they don't want to do it.
How do you assess that?
Based on the promises they made when they were in opposition. I mentioned Amakofi Bua saying very strongly that declare it, the state of emergency. We'll have to declare it. Now. He says they are tackling the matter with all the emergency measures that is available. That does not equate to the same thing. So if there's the need to put pressure on government to do something about illegal mining, it should happen. Look, the EPA has been talking about it. Professor Kluche, the EPA boss, she has also been strong about the impact of illegal mining and what it is doing to environment. Something needs to be done. We don't have to lose sight of the fight and then begin to massage the numbers, massage the issues. If we're going all out, we should go all out, Helen.
Certainly. Sixes, what about you? Is it ever too early for the citizenry to hit the streets, demonstrate, protest, let their voice be heard about critical issues such as Galamsey?
I think it is too early. Because we have had conversations about Galamsey, and I, for one, I have been very hard-hitting because of pictures that I have seen, videos that I have seen, and in some instances, first-hand information that I have felt gathered on how Galamsey is devastating us. And there was a change in administration. We would have to review what the state was in terms of executive execution. Then we'll see how this administration can come in. It's been, 3 months, 4 months? Mm-hmm. Crosby mentioned that. Yes, there's an urgency to the fight against Galamsey. If we were shouting state of emergency 4 months back, we are asking ourselves, has President Mahama evaluated the situation? Has he assessed why President Akufo-Addo did not or could not, declare a state of emergency? And will he be able within the 4 months to do what President Akufo-Addo could not do 4 months back? So to be fair, I think that we need all those stakeholders back on the grind. We need the media coalition. We need the eco-citizen group. We need Arocha Ghana. We need everybody to go back and work with this administration and then give clear timelines. I'm not sure whether that's been done. I'm not sure.
We can certainly find that out.
Okay.
On the phone lines, because you also mentioned the eco-conscious citizens, and Awula Sewa is the coordinator. She joins us on the phone lines. Awula Sewa, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us on 3FM Sunrise. There is a planned demonstration set to take place today. It's organized by the Generational Rights Protection Society, and it's a demonstration against Galamsey. Do you believe a demonstration at this point is necessary? We've got a new administration seemingly making steps to fight Galamsey.
Well, what I would say is that as eco-conscious citizens, we didn't join the demonstration, not because we think that sufficient steps have been taken, but because we have been for a very long time asking for LI 2462, which is a low-hanging fruit, to be repealed. And we have been informed that when Parliament resumes, that is going to be done. So in the light of that, to go on the demonstration would appear that we have not taken that into consideration. But are we happy about the state of affairs? No. A lot needs to be done. We all knew about the state the country was in with regards to irresponsible and illegal mining before the election. So just as we quickly were able to repeal e-levy and the betting tax, if some amount of seriousness was put into how we stop irresponsible mining, I believe other steps would have been taken by now. As I speak, there's so much devastation going on. We all know the River Confra has been diverted. Those steps are being taken. Our wetlands, especially the Peshi in La, is being filled to be built on. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But to go back to illegal mining, we want to give the administration some leeway for having at least seeing the wisdom in repealing LI 2462, and then we'll put other demands in place. If those demands are not met, then we can think of escalating. But for now, we want to give credit to the fact that they've seen the wisdom, although it's taking too long, they have at long last seen the wisdom in repealing LI 2462.
Right, and we're told, as you've also mentioned, that this will be revoked, LI 2462, once Parliament reconvenes. You also mentioned some other demands, and I'll be asking you about that very shortly. But I also want to know if eco-conscious citizens have formally engaged this particular administration, this new administration, by way of the ministry or the minister.
Yes, this administration has been engaged with others. You mentioned Arocha Ghana.
That's
with
right.
Others, they have been engaged. There's been a meeting with not necessarily eco-conscious citizens, that we stand with Arocha Ghana. There's been a meeting with the lands minister. So it is known what needs to be done. Even if you don't want to declare a state of emergency, all we are saying is that you need your army, armed forces, navy to deal with this problem. We call them environmental terrorists. So if there's terrorism taking place in your country, what are you doing about it? There's a clear and present danger. Ecocide. We are being poisoned. Our water bodies poisoned. Our forest reserves being destroyed. A rise in kidney disease and maternal death. And what are we doing about it? You see, we need to understand that if we continue this way, Ghana will be no more. We face what we call an existential threat. In addition, there are national security threats where we had a forest reserve with about 10,000 people when the information said 2. Supposing it was Boko Haram or other jihadists hiding there. So when we say declare a state of emergency, we're not saying it's just for the sake of it. We are saying that if the Akufo-Addo administration didn't do this, you are resetting. So what exactly are you doing to deal with the existential threat we are facing, to deal with the environmental terrorism? We have asked for a state of emergency. You don't want to declare a state of emergency. What do you want to do to deal with the environmental terrorism taking place before it is too late? The window of opportunity to deal with this canker is closing. The window is closing. As we speak right now, the water we are drinking, Ghana water is not removing the heavy metals. So potentially, people are drinking poisoned water. I was speaking to a doctor the other day. He was saying that within the Galamsey belt, he's getting cases of kidney disease with children, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds. This didn't happen in the past.
Very, very worrying indeed. And the issue, it would appear, is still very much raging on. Now, Awolasewa, you mentioned the demands that you're making and CSOs are making on this current administration. What are the timelines within which you would like to see these changes or these demands being met?
Well, we'd have liked to see by now the state of emergency in our forest reserves and on our water bodies. We'd have liked to see that by now. Time is running out. We had 8 years of the past administration with much not being done. At the end of the day, the president in 2017, the past administration, put his presidency on the line.
That's right.
When he put his presidency on the line, things went from bad to worse because the political will wasn't there. And on both sides of the political divide, there are highly placed persons involved in irresponsible mining. And that's why we're not seeing much headway. Today we run to a forest reserve. We say we have, cleared the environmental terrorists. The forestry commission officers go there, and then they are attacked. So what we need to do is to understand that we need to deal with this robustly and systematically. That is why we suggested a state of emergency. You don't want to declare a state of emergency. Do whatever you need to do to make sure that you engage the army, the armed forces, and the navy within 3 weeks. Engage them and deal systematically with our forest reserves and clear them of the environmental terrorists. We cannot continue business as usual. But for that, you need the political will, which has been absent for a very long time. So we need the political will. So we said declare a state of emergency. We also said pause small-scale mining, community mining, whatever you want to call it. We're not saying that big companies cannot engage in irresponsible mining, but there are fewer of them and you can monitor. You've issued mining licenses like confetti to small-scale miners. You can't monitor. We reported a case in Atronsu last year. To date, to the best of my knowledge and belief, nobody has been there because you are short-staffed, you don't have the resources. So if you can't monitor, why would you issue so many licenses? They're now being told that Akonta Mining didn't have the requisite licenses. Have we now found out? Did we not know before? So the point we are making is that if you can't monitor something, don't have it. Wait until you have your act together. So we've made those demands. We've also said all those who were named in Professor Frimpong Boateng's report need to be investigated,
right,
if need be prosecuted. And if they are found guilty, apart from their sentence and fine, their property should be sold and used towards the cost of reclamation, because we believe in the polluter pays principle. There must be consequences when you commit a crime.
Thank you so much for that. Sadly, we've run out of time, but I think, Awolasewa, your point is well made, and I know we'll be engaging in the near future. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and for speaking with us, and also for your passionate and consistent advocacy. You remind us that with persistence, all things are possible. Thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me.
Again, that was Awolasewa. She's the coordinator, Eco-Conscious Citizens, speaking to us there about the state of affairs as far as Galamsey is concerned. She says they will not be joining in the demonstration. They're happy that LI 2462 will be repealed or revoked, shall I say, once Parliament reconvenes. We keep our eyes firmly on that, of course, as Parliament reconvenes. We'll be bringing you more on that, what the timelines look like. But gentlemen, what a morning.
She says they are waiting for action on that.
Right.
Yeah, and that is where I use the phrase again as a sign of goodwill. So when they raised the matter,
yes,
they said when Parliament reconvenes, and that was the second point I was going to go to.
Yes,
they will work on it.
Okay.
What I don't know is the information that Crosby chipped in, that because I know there was a back and forth on amendment, whether they would amend or not.
Well, that has changed. That's coming from Sammy Jamfi. He's the acting chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board. He was categorical. Crosby, am I right? Yeah. He says LI 246 will be revoked. I didn't hear work on it where he will be revoked. So Awolasewa says that they're happy to hear this, but it should have come as quickly as that e-levy revocation and the rest. But we'll park it here on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Thank you so much for sticking with us all the way through up until now. Enyonam Haliga is here looking wonderful in brown and black. She has a news update for us. We'll see you tomorrow, of course, bright and early. My name is Helen Apia Ampofo. On behalf of the rest of the team, do have a wonderful, 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 wonderful Monday. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. Let's get the birthday pictures up very quickly. Wish everybody a happy